Hi, my name is Emily and welcome to Sweet Creek Patterns. In today's video, I'm super excited to share how to crochet this beautiful crochet blanket. So this blanket actually is like a rippled, so it has like kind of valleys and peaks. So you can see where down here where we chained, it's like it has that same rippled look. And then as you go up, there is V, like a V shell stitch. And then there's also this really loose texture. So you can see there's the V shell stitch and here's another. And then between it, it's like this really loose, beautiful shell stitches and shell decreases or just decreases. So this is one of my all-time favorite blanket patterns. I think it is just so beautiful, especially with this Red Heart Super Saver ombre yarn. So it naturally changes colors, but I absolutely love that too. So let's go ahead and jump into the tutorial. Two things I want to mention real quick is that you can adjust the playback speed by clicking the little settings gear icon in the bottom right corner, then click playback speed, and then you can adjust it so it's either faster or slower depending on whether you're more of an advanced or beginner crocheter. And then the other thing I want to mention is that I'm thinking of making this a free pattern and a paid pattern. Sometimes I just do tutorials for like stitch tutorials, but I'm thinking of making this into an actual pattern. So if I did decide to do that, you can check the links in the description box down below if you are interested in either the paid or free pattern. So let's go ahead and jump into the tutorial for how to make this beautiful blanket. So the supplies that you'll need today is a 5.5mm crochet hook, and I highly recommend the Clover & More brand. It is my favorite crochet hook, so if you're looking for a new crochet hook, that is my favorite hook. Then you'll obviously need some scissors for when you're going to tie in your tails and finish your work, and then you're going to need a darning needle, and then you're going to need some yarn. Now for this blanket, I used Red Heart Super Saver ombre in the color anemone. I believe that is the color when I looked. So I made this blanket several years ago, and so now just when I looked it up, it looks like this is the best color that matches. So you can see it's a very pretty raspberry color, and let me show you on the blanket what it looks like. So you can see, there you go. You can see it's dark and then it turns light, and that is just all the yarn. There's nothing. Like, I don't naturally change colors, it just naturally changes colors and then it goes back to dark. So it is one of the most pretty yarn variations I have ever seen. So I absolutely love this color, and it is the Red Heart Super Saver ombre in the color anemone. So that is that. Now I'm going to show you a couple little swatches. So when I decided I'm going to make this tutorial for this week, I tried making the blanket again using the same stitch pattern, and I just wanted to show you a couple of differences so you can kind of know exactly what I'm aiming for. So I tried making it first with this yarn, and by the way, this Red Heart Super Saver yarn is a number 4 worsted weight yarn, and so this is another number 4 worsted weight yarn. So I tried making it in the same hook size, a 5.5mm hook. And as you can see, if I line it up with the base of this original blanket, which I've had it for a couple years, so it probably has stretched out some. I've never washed it though. So you can see this is the base, and then this is what I just created. So you can see it's way smaller. So one thing with this pattern is that I did notice that this yarn was a little bit thicker than the ombre, which is just a variance between number 4 worsted weight yarns, very common. But then I also noticed that I think I was crocheting a little bit tighter, because I always use a 5.5mm hook for my blankets, worsted weight blankets. So I know it was the right hook, but it was a little bit tighter. And so I tried making it again, my little swatch again, this time using doing a little bit looser tension. So let me show you what that looks like. So you can see here is what it looked like when I tried a little bit, yep, here's what it looked like when I tried a little bit looser tension. And you can see that it is definitely better. So if I put this one on top, the original one versus this one, so line it up on this side, there we go. You can see that it's definitely a little bit longer, and you can even see that in the, right here in that kind of rippled part. So that is that, and then I tried making it even a tiny bit looser, and I ended up with this. So you can see, I have it lined up on the wrong side. So you can see if I go like this, you can see my continual looser tension. And I personally prefer a little bit, so you can see I have them all stacked up nice on that side. And you can see this one's a little bit wider, yeah, so narrower or smaller, bigger, and then biggest. And then I also wanted to try, just to make sure we are on the right path, a swatch using the same hook size. So this is all the same hook size, just slightly different tensions. So this was a pretty loose tension, and you can see that it is just about perfect. So I recommend using a 5.5mm hook and ombre yarn. And now, if you're not using ombre yarn, you may want to just use a little bit of a bigger hook size. So that was my whole point, that sometimes the number 4 worsted weight is a little bit thicker. So if you notice that yours is a little thicker than like your other number 4 worsted weight yarns, I recommend going up a hook size, or if you naturally crochet kind of loose, I would do that. You can see on this blanket, if I can pull it back up, you can see that I did pretty loose stitching, and I really love that kind of lacy look. So you can see that we have these like shells that are kind of a little bit tighter. So now I was just talking about how this, you can see, is like a repeat going up. Let me show you also on here, because I can get a little closer. So you can see that that is kind of the tighter part, and then these are all kind of loose more. And I think that's really a fun little touch with this blanket, is that at the top, so it's kind of a wave, so then at the top of each of the waves it has this like shell stitch, and then here it has more of this kind of loose stuff. So shell stitch, kind of loose, and then tighter. So I think it just adds a really fun touch, and then I also love how it kind of bobbles out, so you can kind of see there's like some texture. So that is what I wanted to talk about. Then the other thing I wanted to talk about is if you want to make it in a different, in like more of a bulky weight yarn, let me set this aside. If you have any interest in ever making it in more of a bulky weight yarn, so this is Lion Brand Woolies Thick and Quick. And you can see that I used a 12mm crochet hook for this. And I thought it was a little too loose because you weren't seeing those like, I'll call them bobbles, kind of come out at you, like you can kind of see here. So I tried a 10mm hook, and my results, I think I like it better. So you can see that if I turn it this side, it's a little bit, there you go. You can see that here was that like row that I was just talking about, that's a little bit tighter, and then here's more of this loose stuff right here. And it just is such a fun texture, and it's such a repetitive, like you get so used to just doing it. It is so fun to work on. I literally am obsessed. I want to make more blankets like this. So now I'm going to go ahead and jump into the tutorial. So let's begin. Alright, so for this tutorial part, I'll be making a swatch about this size. So I'm going to go ahead and grab my ombre yarn. And then you're also going to want to grab your 5.5mm crochet hook. So you can see there it is. So now what we're going to do, it's not focusing. There we go. So now what we're going to do is we're going to grab the center pole, or however you want to start your blanket or whatever you're going to make this for. So you're going to go ahead and grab the center pole. I'm going to set my blanket or my yarn aside, and you're going to go ahead and begin by making a slip knot. So to make a slip knot, you're going to put the yarn at the base of your hand, and then you're going to wrap it around your finger twice. You're going to grab the back loop now. You're going to bring it up and over, and then you're going to grab the new back loop and bring it up and over and off your hand. Now you're going to go ahead and tighten. now we are going to go ahead and make chains. So you're going to insert your hook into that loop that we just made, and then you're going to grab both of the tails and tighten it onto your hook. So it's about like the right, it can still slide up and down, but it's a little bit tighter. So now what we're going to do is you're going to chain a multiple of 16. So I know that's a little bit of a high chain, but I personally like when my blankets end on going down. So it's like half of the going down. Let me show you. So you can see here is the blanket. I said all the kind of aside. So you can see it goes up and down, and then it starts down here at the base. So I just thought that's a really fun way to start, and so this is how I'm going to show you how to do it. So I personally, for this blanket, chained 96, which is a multiple of 16. So 6 times 16 equals 96, and then I also chained 3 more just as like starting. So this blanket is about 24 and a half inches wide. So from end to end, it's about 24 and a half inches. So if you want to make a bigger blanket, then you would just chain 16 more. And I would maybe, unless you want it to be more of a baby blanket, you are welcome to chain more than I did. So that is what I did. And for this little swatch, I'm just going to chain 32, which is 16 times 2. So 1, 2. And to make a chain, you're just going to yarn over and pull through. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So just yarn over and pull through. And you're just going to continue working up your chain until you have the desired chain length that you would like. So remember that this is a wavy base, so it is going to be less than like you think when you originally chained, because it goes up and down, so it's not exactly as, it's going to be a little bit smaller than your original chain will probably be. So I'm going to go ahead and chain, and I will meet you back. Alright, so I just chained my 32, and now you're going to chain 3 more. So 1, 2, and 3. And this is the turning chain and just 1 extra chain for this repeat. So however many you chain, you're going to do a multiple of 16, and then you're going to add 3 at the end. Okay, so to begin, we are going to double crochet 3 together. So you're going to, you'll see the loop on your hook does not count as a chain. You're going to skip the first 2 chains, which you can kind of see right there. So 1, so each V is a chain. So 1 and 2, and then into the 3rd chain from hook, you're going to yarn over and insert your hook. You're going to yarn over and pull through, and then you're going to yarn over and pull through 2. So you're starting a double crochet, and normally to finish a double crochet, you would yarn over and pull through all 2 loops on your hook. But this time, what you're going to do is you are going to yarn over, then insert your hook into the next chain. Now let me see, hopefully it'll focus, there we go. So you can see that we just went into this chain right there. So you're going to go into the next chain over. So where it's pulling out of, that big loop, you don't want to go into there. You want to go into the next chain. You're going to yarn over and pull through, and you're going to yarn over and pull through 2. Now at this point, you should have 3 loops on your hook, and you're going to do this like sort of double crochet 1 more time. So you're going to yarn over, insert into the next stitch, yarn over, pull through, and yarn over and pull through 2. Now at this point, you should have 4 loops on your hook, and you're going to go ahead and yarn over and pull through all 4 loops on your hook. So that is what your first stitch of this blanket should look like. And so now what we're going to do is we're going to double crochet into the next 5 stitches. So you're going to yarn over, and you're going to insert into that next chain. So you can see, let's see, hopefully it'll focus. You can see right here is where we just came out of for those 3 stitches. And now you're going to insert your hook into that next chain right there. So that's the loop. We're not going to go into there, the next chain. So right there. So you're going to yarn over, insert your hook into there, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2. And then this is where we last time stopped, but now you're just going to yarn over and pull through all 2 loops. So now you're going to double crochet into the next 4 more stitches. So total of 5. So you're just going to continue doing that. Looks like I have a little fuzz. There we go. So we are at 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. You can see that is how it should look. So you can see there's a decrease, then there's 1 V, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now what we're going to do is we are going to do 4 double crochet into this next chain. So you can see here is where we just went, that big loop, and you're going to go into the next chain. So yarn over, insert into that next chain, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, and yarn over and pull through 2. So now you're going to do 3 more double crochets into that exact same chain. So that was 1, so now 2, 3, and 4. So now you can see, hopefully you guys can see this pretty well. We have the decrease, then we did 5 double crochet, and then we did 4 double crochet into that one chain. And now we're going to go ahead and start working down. So you can see we started down here, we worked 5 stitches up, we're at the top now, and we're going to be working down, and then we're going to keep doing that. So we're going to go up and down, like that. So now you're going to double crochet into the next 5 stitches, just like we did before. Remember that this is where you just did your 4 double crochets, so you're going to want to go into that next chain after that. So 1, my yarn is coming over, 2, 3, and 4, and 5. There we go. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And now at this point, what we're going to do is we're going to do a double crochet 5 together. So here we did double crochet 3 together. This time we're going to do a full, like a full valley. So that means we're going to do 5 chains. We're going to double crochet 5 chains together. So what you're going to do is you're going to do the exact same thing basically you did here, just more loops on your hook. So yarn over, insert into the next chain, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, and now you're going to repeat that 4 more times. So yarn over, insert into that next chain, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, and you're going to repeat that a total of 5 times. So you should have 6 loops on your hook. So you can see I've done 1, 2, 3, and 4, and you're going to do it 1 more time. Now at this point you should have 6 loops on your hook, so you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and then you can see that we have like 5 little half double crochets. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now you're going to yarn over and pull through all 6 loops on your hook. Now a little tip as you're pulling through all these loops on your hook, you're just going to want to yarn over, and when you pull through, you want to turn your hook head down so that it glides through those loops easier and doesn't get stuck. So that is now officially the repeat. So you're going to double crochet into the next 5 stitches. 1, 2, and remember to work pretty loosely or just hook size up a hook size if you're not a very loose crocheter. It doesn't have to be crazy loose. I just like it a little bit more loose. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So we did our decrease right here. And now we did 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 more stitches. And now you're just going to do the same thing. So you're going to do 4 double crochets into that next chain. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then you're going to double crochet 5 and double crochet into the next 5 chains. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So now at this point, for however many more chains you have, you're just going to continue the repeat of double crochet 5, double crochet 4 into 1 stitch, double crochet into the next 5 chains, and then you're going to do your decrease, and then you're just going to repeat that again. So once you do your decrease, then you're going to do 5 double crochet into the next 5 chains. You're going to double crochet 4 into 1 chain, and then you're going to double crochet into the next 5 stitches, and then you're going to do another decrease. So once you come to the end of this row, which you can see I'm at, I have 3 chains left. And what you're going to do is you're going to yarn over and insert into the next chain. You're just going to do the same thing that we did on this side. So you're going to do a double crochet 3 together, or double crochet decrease 3, however you want to call it. So we have 3. I just went into those 3 chains, and you can see I have 4 loops on my hook. I'm going to just yarn over and pull through all 4 loops. And you can see that we have completed row number 1 of this little simple repeat. Now the next row is what you're going to repeat for the whole rest of the blanket. So you're going to, for row number 2, you're going to chain 2, turn your work, and I personally prefer to not have my chains count as a stitch because I find that it tends to make it a little bit more of an even edge. So that's why I do only chain 2 instead of a chain 3. So chain 2, turn your work. Now you're going to yarn over and insert into that very first stitch. You can see that that was the decrease that we just made. So you're going to yarn over, insert, yarn over, pull through, and yarn over and pull through 2. And then you're going to do that again. So you're going to do a double crochet 3 together into a total of 3 stitches. So that first stitch, the next stitch after that, and then the following stitch 2. So we just did double crochet 3 together. You're going to yarn over and pull through all 4 loops on your hook. And now what you're going to do is you're going to skip 2 stitches. So you can see there's 1 and 2. And into the 3rd stitch, so skip 1, 2, and then into the 3rd stitch, you're going to yarn over and you're going to double crochet 5 into that 1 stitch. So skip 2 stitches into the 3rd stitch, double crochet 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So we've done a decrease, and then we just did 5 double crochets into that 1 stitch. Now we are to the top of our work. So you can see that we have like those 4, here, not sure we're in the best focus, there we go. Those 4 stitches at the top. What you're going to do is you're going to find the middle. So you're going to skip 1 and then 2. And then between the 2nd and the 3rd, you're going to separate those 2 double crochets and you're going to work into there. So let me show you what that looks like when we're done. So you can see it's just like a typical shell stitch, at least that I'm aware of. I think it's called a V shell stitch, but I could be wrong. So you can see that is what it looks like. So we go through between the middle. So instead of working into the top of one of those stitches like you can see we did here, where there's a loop below, you're just going to work into the middle. So let me show you again here. So you're going to skip 1 stitch and then 2 stitch, but you're going to, instead of working into that 3rd stitch, you're going to separate. So between the 2nd and the 3rd stitch, you're going to double crochet 4. So 1, 2, and you remember just to work into that hole, and this is the chain that we just made. So that you can just ignore, but this is the hole between the double crochets. So 2, 3, and 4. And now at this point you're going to skip 2 stitches, and then into the 3rd stitch you're going to make 5 double crochet. So you can see there's that first stitch right there. You can count also from the side. So 1, 2, and then into that 3rd stitch you're going to double crochet 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And now what we're going to do is we are going to do a decrease. So you're going to skip 2 stitches. So 1, 2, and into that 3rd stitch you're going to make a double crochet decrease of 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Over those next 5 stitches we're going to decrease 5. So 1, 2, and then right into that one where we did a decrease before, 3, 4, and into that last stitch right there, 5. So now at this point we have 6 loops on our hook. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. You're going to yarn over and pull through all 6 loops on your hook. So now you can kind of get the idea, and this is what we're going to repeat all the way. So like for the next however many rows you want to do. So you're going to do a double crochet 3 together at the beginning. You're going to double crochet 5 and you're going to skip 2 stitches and then double crochet 5 into the 3rd stitch. Then you're going to skip technically about 2 stitches and into that center between those 4 stitches, which it's hard to see some here, but on the next rows you'll be able to see it a little bit better. You'll see, oh, there's only 4 stitches, so I'm going to go into the middle of that. So into the middle, you're going to work 4 stitches. Then you're going to skip 2 stitches. Into the 3rd stitch, you're going to work 5 stitches. And now you're going to do your double crochet 5 together. So now we're just going to continue. We're going to work our way up, and we're going to repeat the same thing. So skip 2 stitches. Into the 3rd stitch, you're going to double crochet 5. So 1, 2. And 5, there we go. And then we're at the top of our 4 stitches again. So we're going to skip 1 stitch and then kind of skip the 2nd stitch, but between the 2nd and the 3rd stitch, we're going to separate and we're going to do 4 double crochet. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. And now we're working down. So we're going to skip 1, 2, and then into the 3rd stitch, you're going to double crochet 5. So 2, 3, 4, and 5. So double crochet 4 into the top, then double crochet 5 when you skip into the 3rd skip stitch. Then now you should have, you should skip 1, 2, and then now you're going to do your decrease. Now for me, I just came to the end of my row, so you're going to just skip 1, 2, and into that 3rd stitch you're going to do your decrease. Now if you didn't come to the end of your row, you would just do a normal 5 decrease, double crochet 5 together, but because I'm at the end of my row, I'm going to only do a double crochet 3 together because that's what we do at the beginning and at the end of each row. So I'm going to pull through, and there we go. So you can see at this point, row 1 is not going to be as pretty as the following rows. So don't worry if it doesn't look like there's much rhyme or reason between these stitches. The following rows will really start to show this row 2 prettiness. So the first row won't show as much, like if you can see here, even it won't really show, but then the following rows will really show that kind of texture and will really look beautiful. So now you're going to chain 2 and you're going to repeat exactly what we did for row 2. So double crochet 3 together over those first 3 stitches. And remember, your turning chain does not count as a chain, so you're going to go into that very first stitch. Now you're going to skip 2 stitches and double crochet into the 3rd stitch. And you're going to double crochet 5. So you can kind of start to see that I will want to kind of pucker out a little bit, and that's exactly what we want. We don't want your tension to be too tight, otherwise it's going to really pucker badly, but we want it to be kind of the perfect balance. So you can see that's what it looks like. You can kind of see that there's like this little bobble. It's super cute. So we now did 5 double crochet. Now you can see a little bit easier that there's 4 stitches coming up next. And that's where we're going to split between the 2 stitches. So you can see 1, 2, then split between the 2nd and 3rd right there. And you're going to double crochet 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And now you're going to begin working down again. So you're going to skip 2 into the 3rd stitch, double crochet 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. and now you're going to skip 2 stitches, and into that 3rd stitch you're going to do a decrease. So after you finish the first 2 rows, you'll kind of get a hang of it, because you can kind of feel, oh, this is the valley, so I'm going to do my decreases here, and then, oh, this is the top, so I'm going to do my separate the 2 stitches and double crochet 4 into the middle. So you can kind of, once you get a couple rows done, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Oops, I did 1 too many. So after a little bit, after I would say the 2nd row, you'll kind of get into this swing of things where you can feel, oh, this is what I'm going to continue doing next. So now you're just going to begin working up again. So you're going to skip 2 stitches. Into the 3rd stitch, you're going to double crochet 5, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then you're going to, between those 4 double crochets, you're going to separate that, and you're going to go into the middle. And before long, you'll be able to see that from each of the rows before. You can see, oh, we went in the middle here, so now I'm going to go in the middle again. And as you continue to work up, it will get more and more obvious. You'll be like, oh, I just went here in the middle, so I'm going to do that again, you know? So it'll get more and more simple as you keep working, and I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. It's one of my favorite stitches. I think it's probably my all-time favorite blanket, and I absolutely love the colors and the stitches. So, okay, so I wanted to come on and show you again my finished blanket. You can see this is the lightest color that the Red Heart yarn went, and then you can see that this was the darkest color. So if I go like, oh, there you go, there's the right color. You can see that those are the colors. It's super, super pretty. I love, love, love how this variegated yarn works. And it was one of my favorite things to do. So a couple years ago when I did a ton of blankets, this would be all that I worked with. I only worked with Red Heart ombre yarn because I just loved how it changed colors so beautifully. There you go. And yeah, so it's a really, really fun and simple pattern. I hope you guys gave it a try. And one thing I wanted to mention before I finish up this tutorial is that if you want to make a blanket that's exactly my size, so I told you how wide I did it. I did 50 rows of working up, and you can end on any row that you want. So whenever you feel like you've made it long enough, then you can just call that good, cut your yarn, and weave in your tail. So you can stop at any row, and you can also, or you can just do 50 rows like I did. So whatever you want to do. And so congratulations on finishing your blanket. Thank you so much for making this beautiful blanket along with me. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. If you did, please give this video a like and subscribe to my YouTube channel if you like crochet tutorials. I post pretty much every week, so I'd love to see you in my next video. And then also don't forget to comment down below. I absolutely love hearing from you guys. It makes my day. So if you made this blanket or if you plan to make this blanket, I would love to hear about that. And I'd also love to hear, if you did make this blanket, what colors you made it in. So thank you so much again for watching, and I'll see you in next week's video. Bye!